No.
This one's done, this one's clean.
Yeah, if we give that spray off and we'll give them a quick snow foam and then they're done. So this week, tours, tips, I don't know what else really, but we've got, I forgot, we'd had another van in and I completely forgot about it, so we're going to have a look in that one. We're going to have a look at a few things that people have come up with this week. So something that people have mentioned is their hobs not staying lit. So on the actual gas hob, what we tend to find is our hobs is we'll light it up going along, and then as soon as we release our gas valve it stops working. So one thing that we can try, and it's not always going to be the case, and on this particular oven, these are a blinking nightmare, these Thetfords, they've got a load of little connectors in the back, and sometimes just the little connectors come off, but unfortunately it is a job that your service engineer is going to need to do, because your complete gas lid on the top is going to have to come apart. And we've got another one that actually got a gas leak on, which we're going to have a look at stripping it down in a minute. But to get your hobs working, sometimes if they're not staying lit, what you can do is with your gas valve, just actually bang it with your palm of your hand, give it a good banging like that.
Oh my gosh.
And then what that is doing is releasing the magnetic valve in the back. Sometimes it's just literally lack of use, and the little magnetic valve in the back of there isn't sort of working and releasing and doing what it should be doing. And that will sometimes, 50-50, that will fix the issue. If that doesn't fix the issue, it's either going to be that your thermocoupler has gone, or the actual gas connections, or the electrical connections to the gas thermocoupler and little linkage between the gas valve is faulty, and it's going to need more investigation. So it's going to have to be proper stripped down. Now, we had one the other day, and this is the importance of having your Caravan serviced. We had a leak, and it wasn't any of the gas fittings or your normal gas fittings, it was actually on the back of the hob. So here's a little quick video of that going on. So we'd found a gas leak, and it was actually on the gas pipe that connects to the gas valve. So I'd got to remove all of the gas fittings from the burners, and that would reveal the actual fittings onto the gas pipe, onto the gas valve. So I'm undoing the one gas valve, and as you can see, they basically connect up with two screws and they lock into place. And I found that all three of these connections had come loose, so we double checked all the seals, made sure they were all correct, tightened them all up, and now it's just fitting it all back together. So quite a quick, easy little fix, but a bit more involved in stripping it completely down. And you can see now that I'm putting on the actual magnetic valves that go onto the back, and that is where those magnetic valves that I was talking about in the last part of the video, and they just connect into the back here, and they can sometimes stick. So by banging the actual gas valve at the front, that will release that gas valve or the magnetic valve and allow that to work. And I'm now just fitting the actual gas control knobs back on. So back in the van, back connected, and now we're pressurising the system to make sure we've got no gas leaks. Yeah, it's all on down underneath.
Holding so far on 150.
So far so good, right.
So can you generally fix these hobs rather than have to replace them most of the time? Yeah,
majority of the time it's just electrical connections or thermocouplers or gas valves. And on that one that we was just repairing there, you could actually see the little pieces that came out, and they were the magnetic valves, and that is what, when we bang this, what is coming loose, and we're trying to get that working again. And then what basically that does is it presses in, it gets a current from the heat off the thermocoupler, and it holds it in, it magnetises itself in basically, stays in, and that keeps it lit. And sometimes by banging that just releases it. So just a little way to try it, and if it works, it works. It's something that you can try, it's not going to do any damage, and 50-50 it's going to work. Nice little Swift, this one, nice little Swift Challenger. we covered motor movers a couple of weeks ago, so if I can find the video,
You're earning a lot.
if I can find that video, it's going to pop up now. Another nice one that's come in, and this leads me into another tip of see if we can jump in it quick. I don't know whether we can get it. I don't know whether we can get in it.
Full of tips today.
Not quite. We'll come back.
Oh, where's he gone? He's gone
So
now.
we'll come back to that one in a minute because they're still just giving that a clean off. We'll have a look in the Grand. This is going to have the same tap. So what you can sometimes find is, especially with the Swift taps, is that we'll start to get a bit of a leak, either it's dripping, a leak down the bottom, or a leak around the top. Now you can take these apart, and to do so you have to take the top section out here, so this will pop out, and then there's a little Allen key sort of star-headed Torx bit in the top of here, and this handle will then come off. At the back of the tap, if you can see from that direction there into there, we've got another little Torx bolt just there, just there, sticking out, and then there's another one at the top at the back here, so round this side, round here. Now if you've got one of these taps that is leaking and you've got water coming out and it's not coming from underneath, so sometimes when you look at your pipework underneath, it'll be that the pipework underneath is all wet, and majority of the time then it's the insides of the tap have gone completely AWOL. But if it's around this top section, the chances are the little, I can't think what they're called.
Ring? Is there a
Not
ring
your
in
ring,
there?
no.
Washer?
Insert, tap insert. Can't think. I can't. There's a proper name for it, and I can't think what the proper name is. But there's a little cartridge insert, basically, the tap cartridge. So there's a little cartridge that's in here, and sometimes over the winter, there's been a little bit of water in there. It's frozen, pushed out, and then dirt has sort of got in the way, and it's got in between the seal, and that's what's causing the issue. So by taking this apart, so back screw, top screw, take this off, and this whole unit then will come apart from the insides, and you'll be able to then get to that little tap insert. We can take the insert out, give it a bit of a clean, wash back inside of there, and then put it all back together. And again, it's worth taking some pictures before you take it apart of exactly which way round it is. And the reason that I say to, if you're a little bit handy and you fancy having a go and you've got that issue, it's either going to be a new tap.
They're quite expensive, aren't they, those
They're about
ones?
100 odd quid, yeah. So it's either going to be a new tap, or you have a go at fixing it. And if you've got a leak on there, it's pretty much,
Can't make it any worse.
yeah, you can't. It's done for. You can't make it any worse. So have a go at fixing it. If you order a new tap and it comes through and you think, actually, I'll try and fix the old one. I've always got a spare then. So you got the best of both worlds. But literally, you can sometimes fix those, but they just come apart, and it's the little cartridges. And that is the same with a lot of the different taps. These have all got that same sort of tap in there, but a lot of the other types of taps are the same sort of thing, where it'll literally be, you'll undo the little Torx head or the Allen key in the top. There'll be
Just flip that out with a little flathead.
a little flathead in the back of that. I'll have to get one that we can take apart and do a proper sort of full inblown. I'll find a little diagram as well and put that up on the screen that sort of shows a rough breakdown of this tap, because these are quite common for that issue. But other types of tap which don't look like this, will look like this. So even this type, on this one, on this right hand side, we've got a little locking pin on the side here, so we take that out, and then in theory I believe that top section comes out, and then again it should reveal the little cartridge in there.
It's a nice looking tap, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, nice tap. Again, same with this bathroom. So on this bathroom tap, our middle insert there comes out. We've got a little lock nut in there, little Allen key again, that'll come out, and then that will reveal this metal section underneath. We can undo that, and then there's a big locking nut, and as we undo that locking nut, the tap insert is underneath of that, and again it's just literally pop it out, give it a good clean, a little bit of Vaseline or a little bit of silicone spray, put it all back together, tighten it all up. But again, as you take it apart, probably have somebody videoing you how it comes apart, because when it all goes and you're then going, oh my gosh, where did all that come from? If you've got it on video, hopefully you've seen where it's all come from, and it'll make it a little bit easier to put it back together again. But we've had a few people mentioning about that. Ages ago, we did about Tyron bands. So Caravans fitted with Tyron bands, which they are better. Tyron bands are good, except for when you then have a puncture or a blowout or something like that, and you've then got to get the wheel replaced, and you find that none of the garages that you go to have actually got the Tyron band removal tools or the kit, so it's a different separate machine than your normal car tyre sort of thing. So one thing that I'd suggest is if that you have got, I don't know why this step's so far away.
Somebody with long legs.
It's going to be a big jump that was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One thing that I would suggest is that if you've got Tyron bands, probably have your spare wheel that hasn't got Tyron bands. And the reason for that is that if you were to have a really unlikely situation where you had 2 blowouts, at least with your spare you can get a tyre fitted at any point. You're not going to come to an issue and go, I can't find anybody at all with a Tyron band machine. I'm now stuck, I can't get my tyre replaced. So at least you're covered. So I'd say if you're thinking about having Tyron bands fitted to your Caravan, don't have the spare done. Literally have the 2 on the Caravan done, but don't have the spare done. It'll save you a few quid, but it also then gives you that option that if something were to happen, that spare, in theory you can fit that on and it should be okay, but you're always going to be able to swap that tyre no matter where you are. Bessacarr, really nice van that's just come in. It's not been cleaned or anything as yet. Nice 645, so we've got the side island bed, a lovely big fridge freezer. We've got power on this. We've got some power on this. So let's just turn that off for a second. I can put some lights on in this as well. Yeah. So let's see what we've got.
That light's in there, look.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about.
So was that me? Yeah. 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 There we go. So
The back leg's down.
no, they're not.
So it's that wobbly.
Yeah, not there, not down there. So yeah, nice van again. Caravan worktops. It's got the chef's grill in there. The lorry build, a few people have asked about the lorry build. I've got some bits and bobs going on with the lorry build, and we're going to probably look at that next week. So hopefully there'll be a bit more information on that. I'll grab, it's about 26 foot from very front to very back. I'll check the weight on this one. So 2,000 kilos again, so maximum weight of 2,000. It's in the bathroom at the back, nice big separate showering toilet. And have you noticed in the back you've got the speakers, and is there an extractor fan in the shower? No?
No, not in this one.
So we've got the speakers, we've got the Aldi central heating radiator. Really nice fitted out van these are. I do like the Bessacarrs, and again really nice upholstery. And this, I would say, they've had it all covered, haven't they? I think they've had these
It
covered.
smells like new. How old
Yeah.
is it, did you say?
18.
Is it
2018.
No way.
Yeah.
I can't believe
2018.
that. It's like new.
21,995 it's going to go on at.
Crikey.
So a really nice van.
It smells like new.
The next one is the Eccles 835, and this is the 8 foot wide with the bed at the back. And again, this is a 2020 at 21,995 as well. So same price, 8 foot wide, but a 2020. But it's obviously the Eccles version. So we have not got quite as much specification as the Bessacarrs, but we've still got the Aldi central heating, we've got the new control panel, we've still got the nice fridge freezer,
Is it a slimline version
It
of
is.
that
It's
one?
the slimline version. We've got the fridge that we're fitting in the lorry build is same as that, but it's got a little drawer at the bottom.
Yeah,
Hasn't
you've
it?
not seen one like the
So-
one you bought for the lorry
No.
before.
Nice big washroom in the middle, and then nice big bathroom at the back.
Nice big bathroom at the back.
Yeah.
You mean bedroom?
Carried away. Just
A
getting carried
washroom
away.
and a
A
bathroom.
washroom and a bathroom. Washroom and it's best to have both.
Yeah.
Best to have best of all. I like the Swift Eccles was basically the sort of the Sterling version of the Swift. So you've got the Swift Challenger X, which had got a different type of wood
is that
finish
why
and
it's-
different upholsteries,
right, yeah.
and then you've got the Eccles, which was, I think, the more modern version. I think it was the
I
more
think
modern
having just
version.
come out of that Bessacarr, you walk in here and think it's not as luxurious, don't you?
Yeah,
but
well,
then
it's
it is
not,
2 years newer,
it's,
isn't
yeah,
it?
It's newer, and it's not sort of. I think it's 8 foot wide makes a massive difference. But yeah, you've not got all these sort of Corian worktops and all that shebang. So we're not playing any tricks on Dean this week, are we? Got no tricks to play on him this week.
He's not been here after a week,
He's
though,
not,
is he?
has he? He's not. He's been off.
Been off on his jollies.
So we've got the Continental. We'll have a look at that. I completely forgot about the Continental. We looked in the little Bailey Discovery D44 last week, or on Friday's video. Continental, so this is nice. This has just come in. As I say, I'd completely forgotten about this.
So where's this sit then against the Challenger?
Continental is again top of the range.
Right.
So it's the Sterling
Top.
top
It's
of
nice
the
in
range.
here. Wow.
Very, very nice. So again, it's like the Bessacarr. It's the sort of Sterling Bessacarr, not Bessacarr. The Bessacarrs had got sort of the extras then with like the electric roof. Like so, the Bessacarr was just a step up from this, but this was as close as you was going to get to having a Bessacarr without a Bessacarr.
So nice.
And again, half sort of leather look to it. Nice island bed that pulls out. 16,995.
You're
this is.
joking.
So 1690. So for a single axle van, it is heavy. It is a heavy van.
So nice though. I'd
yeah.
buy this. Can we buy this?
Nice van. We got a lorry. Building your lorry. So
It's
yeah,
nice and light in here, isn't it?
it is. It is a nice van. So it's been well looked after. It's got a motor mover as well. So if you've not already, have a look at the website. We've got a couple more campers. So if you missed Friday's video, that's popping up now, and that sort of went through the other vans that had just quickly come in. Next week we've got a few more. We've got another camper coming in, and a few more price rangey sort of vans in part exchange coming through as well. So that go out this weekend. So that is pretty much it for this Sunday. Hopefully the little tips there have sort of helped you along, and it's been something a bit useful. As I say, these taps are a bit of a pain, and we get that bit of a leak on them with the cartridges, etc. So hopefully it's give you a little bit of confidence and a bit of a steer in the right direction of how to take those apart. And as I say, if it's already leaking, you've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
You got the speakers in the washroom with this as well.
Yes.
I just
yeah,
noticed. Sorry.
Yeah. Again, very, very nice. So that's pretty much it for this week. We'll see you next Friday. We might have a couple of reviewy videos popping up in the week at some point, because we need to start, if we can get time, to do some review videos. So we've got an apprentice on next week as well. So he's coming for work experience. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see if we can get him doing some videos or something. And then yeah, we'll see you on Friday. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark at the Caravan Place. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll see you then.